You are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Autumn Wind Williams, and you're now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football. And we're now at the postseason for 2019, now 2020. And it is Wildcard weekend. And I'm hoping you guys had a good New Year's Eve, and didn't get too wasted or arrested. And you did not drink and drive, most of all, and you're still alive. Of course you are if you're watching this show. But anyway, I'm here to provide you quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense. I'm trying to get this out to you guys early. I know normally I'll wait a day before the games, but I had to call in sick to work today. Since I came home New Year's Eve, I've been stuck in the house just trying to get rid of this flu or cold and do my fantasy research for the wild card weekend. But yeah, I've been running my nose so much I'm starting to get one of those rash mustaches, where skin start peeling off your nose and your upper lip, and it's just burning and irritating. But enough with that. You guys are here for, I know who I'm putting in my main lineup. So let's get this started, folks, right now. And start off at quarterback. I got Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks versus the Philadelphia Eagles. He's likely to have less ownership due to this matchup is the very last on the slate, and a lot of people will be trying to have their lineups part of the early action. Especially new people coming from season-long fantasy. They're trying to try out DFS, and they're going to see Tannehill, how hot he's been. Tom Brady, even though he's been on a recline lately. They're going to look at Josh Allen, how he run the ball. But hey, Russell Wilson runs the ball too. He might not have been running as much as a Josh Allen lately, but he does run the ball himself and has better accuracy, I feel, at quarterbacking. And I'm looking at how he was running and throwing the ball a lot versus the 49ers last week. He got over 20 fantasy points, and that was due to his no Chris Carson, no Rashad Penny, and C.J. Prosise is also injured too. They brought on Turbin, Marshawn Lynch. They're utilizing that guy Homer, and Homer is more of a pass catcher, I see. And Marshawn Lynch, he looked a little bit rusty. He might improve this week. He did get a touchdown last week. But I'm expecting Russell Wilson to be more pass-heavy in this playoff game for Wild Card weekend. Moving on to running back. Oh, one other thing. Most important thing. Reason why I'm picking Russell Wilson, too, is because the Eagles' secondary is the third worst in the league versus wide receivers. So that alone right there tells me to pick Russell Wilson as my quarterback on the slate. Now moving on. Excuse me, you guys. I am not myself right now. All right, now moving on to running back. I'm playing Sony Michel from the New England Patriots versus the Tennessee Titans. Sony has averaged double-digit fantasy points the past 3 weeks and has potential to gain a lower 20s season upside. So, looking at his rookie year in 2018, he got 6 postseason touchdowns. So, that's enough for me to ignore the recency bias that I'm seeing circulating around the industry about the reduction that Sony and Michel has had on the offseason. And the Titans, they're not bad at stopping a run, but they're not great at stopping a run. And in the past 3 games, the Titans allowed their opponent to rush over 100 yards per game. So, yeah, Sony Michel is going to be my running back in my main lineup. Moving on to wide receiver, I'm going with DK Metcalf to stack up with my quarterback, Russell Wilson, from the Seattle Seahawks versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not going to keep saying the Eagles have the third worst secondary versus wide receivers in the league. Like I said, that right there When you look at the matchups on this slate, you run with that and pick that quarterback and that wide receiver. Especially now looking at how Russell Wilson likes to throw the ball to the red zone. And DK Metcalf has caught 6 of his 7 touchdowns in the red zone. Last week he got a touchdown to make number 7, and he reached 900 yards from 58 receptions for the season. So stack them up, you guys. All right, I'm going to stay in this game, and at tight end, I'm bringing back with Dallas Goedert for my tight end with the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Seahawks. Zach Ertz, he's been limited in practice with injuries the past 2 weeks, but I'm playing Dallas Goedert regardless if Ertz does play, due to the Eagles are limited when it comes to guys for Carson Wentz to throw the ball to, and especially when the Seahawks play a lot of cover 3 defense that makes them look very vulnerable versus a team that utilized their tight ends heavy in every single game. And although Dallas Goedert is still considered a backup tight end, he's averaging 9.8 fantasy points per game. And here's another nerd stat for you. Seahawks are the 3rd worst in the league versus tight ends this season. So we got the 3rd worst in the league versus receivers, and the 3rd worst in the league versus tight ends with this game right here. That equals shootout possibly to me with the Seahawks and the Eagles. So that's who I'm having at tight end is Dallas Goedert. Moving on, last but not least, is my defense. And I'm definitely going to be going with the number 1 defense on the slate, and that's the New England Patriots. At defense, I'm stacking with my running back, Sony Michel, versus the Tennessee Titans. You know, the Patriots, they only allow 15.9 fantasy points per game to the quarterback position, which is the least in the league. Titans have been looking great, but facing the Patriots at home, that's going to be a challenge for them. I know the Patriots have bad offense this year, and it's affecting their defense a lot when they got to get back on the field way too early. But a playoff Patriots team is completely different than a regular season Patriots team. I mean, there may be some injuries on both sides of the team, but I doubt that the majority are not that major to set them back. And every week, Belichick throws Q-tags on everybody's injury status. So this might just be another poker move to trick the opponents. Just look at it, you guys. Week by week, you'll see Q-tag, Q-tag, Q-tag. And then he'll have guys go out there and they're playing like they're extremely healthy. So it's a lot of poker going on when it comes to Bill Belichick. So I don't buy all those injuries on defense or offense. And just looking at the stats alone with the Patriots defense, 25 interceptions, 11 defensive fumble recoveries, 47 sacks, 7 defensive touchdowns, fantasy points per game, 14.3. So yeah, that's going to be my defense for this Wildcard weekend, and that is my lineup for you guys to consider to put in your lineups. Let me go down that list again. We got Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks at quarterback. Running back, we got Sony Michel from the New England Patriots. Gosh, I need to sneeze. At wide receiver, we have DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks stacking with Russell Wilson. Running it back on the other side, we have we have Dallas Goedert of the Philadelphia Eagles at tight end. And last but not least, Patriots defense. So that's what I have for you guys. You may want to consider putting them in your lineup or hedge what I put in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, click the bell icon so you know next time I'm making another video. Like I said, I will be making off-season videos. This is not just going to be season-long type of thing that I do. You know, we got to stay on our toes, man, so we know what's going on next year, so we can all be league winners. You know what I mean? But yeah. Till next time, you guys. I hope that you build those lineups strong and end up in the green, win lots of money. Last but not least, just win, baby. Peace. I'm out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 411 Podcast. Now get ready to make that money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the 411 DFS.